What's up, y'all? It's Spicy AF. I am back with another spicy topic. Hit that thumbs up, like this video. Also, follow me on X. It's Spicy AF and at Spice Tea Spill on Instagram. Here is my picture. Subscribe and share. So there's an artist slash model named Niykee Heaton who told her story about almost getting S.A.'d by Diddy and Kanye at a studio. She said there was over 9 groupies. She said it looked like, stripper girls hanging out at the studio. They was there. She said there was engineers, there was managers, and no one, repeat, no one helped her or her manager and protected anybody, y'all. If it wasn't for God, she would have a more sinister story to tell at its worst. Liquor poured, weed smoking, all floating in the air. And the worst part about it, again, there was bystanders that betrayed all the girls there because nobody helped. Nobody protected them, even though they saw the fear and they knew what was going on. They are just as guilty as Diddy and Kanye. They are just as guilty, and they also need to be held accountable. It's no excuse for grown-ups to see these things in action, be a part of it, and don't even try to help. You got engineers and managers, security guards that's turning the other way, looking the other way, and just not helping at all. They need to get locked up. They need to be sued. But let's get into what Niykee has to say.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, people were reaching out and wanting to work, and I was 19 years old. I had just left home, and working with my manager, and we were in LA and doing all these crazy things. And all of a sudden, I got a call one day, and it's like, hey, Kanye wants you to come to the studio. And we were just like, what? Kanye knows who I am? What? This is crazy. So we go. And this happens multiple times. You can find it if you go back and find headlines, you'll find proof of it. We were working with Kanye, and he was like, I want to know what you're doing in your new music. I want to hear your tracks. I want to play you mine. I want to know what you're doing with this fashion stuff, because your style is so fucking cool. And if you go in deep dig enough, he said it publicly, you and LP were, the muse for Yeezy season 1, because he went back and asked oh my god, you guys are so fucking cool, you wear shapewear as real clothes, that's so dope, blah 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 blah, and had his people go through my wardrobe, and he wanted me to be the model for Yeezy season 1, and I went and I flew there and I did all this shit, and I was like, I'm not fucking doing this. There was something just not right about it. Anyway, every time we would go to the studio with him, it was yeah, he wanted to work on music, but there was something just fucking weird about it. He would pull up his laptop and he would have bookmarks of all of our pages and our Instagrams, our Snapchat, Twitter, all of that, and our pictures saved. And even now, even a year ago, I'm still getting DMs from people in the industry yo, me and Kanye used to sit in the studio for hours talking about you and your manager, he was obsessed with you. And I was like, whoa, okay, crazy. Anyway, back to me being 19 years old. This was probably the last time that we went to the studio. We got a call. It was late. We were living in LA. And we get a call, and it's hey, Ye wants you to come to the studio. And we're like, cool. Why? And he's like, he wants to work on music. And we're like, that's great. And so we go. And it's somewhere in LA, some studio we've never been to before. And we show up and walk in. And it's we're there to work on music, right? That's why I'm here. And we walk in, and it's Kanye and it's Diddy, and a couple of people that we know, men, an executive that worked with Kanye's engineer, and Kanye's cousin. And we walk in, and we're like, okay, cool. And it's immediately I was like, there's something not right. There's something not right about this, because we walk in and there's 9 other women there. And don't kill me for this, because this is what they called them. There were 9 studio hoes there. Like, I'm all about women's rights, do whatever you want to do, but don't shoot the messenger. That's what they call them. Women who show up to the studio in their full club outfit at the studio. It's like, they're only there for one reason. They want to leave with someone who's there. They're called studio hoes. That's just what they're called. And there are 9 women there, and we're like, that's weird. I thought we were here to work on music, and like, we were invited, like I was invited as an artist and my manager. So I'm wearing like fucking XXL sweatpants and like a giant hoodie. I look like a fucking slob. And like, you know, my manager's there in her usual suit, like black leggings, black zip up. Like, we're just like, this is strange, but okay. And we walk in, and there's all these ladies there wearing their club gear, and Kanye and Diddy are already like out of their fucking mind, just like completely fucked up. Drunk, but probably something else. And we're like, okay, but like, we were invited as artists. Like, maybe these girls are gonna leave and we're gonna work on music. Like, let's just walk in and just, yeah. Immediately, I felt like there was something weird, because, you know, there's always drinks, there's always, you know, the vodka and the mixer is just like sitting on the table. But we walk in, and immediately Diddy hands me a drink, Kanye hands Lauren a drink, and we're like, that's weird. Like, why are they serving us? And I don't like to drink. Like, I don't like alcohol. I don't like the way that it like makes me feel. It makes me feel sick. So, but my manager, since the beginning, she was just like, I know you don't like to drink, but if someone famous hands you something to drink, even if you don't want it, just like hold it and like pretend, because you don't want to seem rude. And I was like, okay. And it was like a vodka cranberry, and I was like, oh, gross. And so I'm just standing there with my back against the console, just like pretending to sip this drink. And I'm like, I'm not fucking drinking this. This is gross. And my manager was sitting across on this couch with Kanye's cousin, and then the other girls were sitting next to her. And immediately I was like, there's something fucking wrong. Like, I couldn't explain it. I didn't know what to do. But I just like felt that there was something not right. But I didn't fucking know what to do. I was 19 years old, like just left home a year ago, new in the industry. Yeah, I didn't know what to do, but I knew that there was something wrong, basically. And I was standing there pretending to sip this drink, and my manager was sitting across from me. And, you know, if you know about like my past and like us being together, like, she's very much reserved, and people would always say like, oh, she's such a bitch, she has like a resting bitch face. And it's because she has like a severe like social anxiety. Like, she just wants to like sit in the corner and like tap on her phone and like not talk to anyone. So she's not a bitch, she's just very shy. And I see her across the room holding her drink, and it was weird because I noticed as I was standing there just kind of just like wondering what's going on, Diddy kept looking at me, and Kanye kept looking at Lauren, and like they were exchanging glances, and I'm like, they're like watching me strangely. And I'm like, okay, let me pretend to drink, and like I'm not actually doing it. And like that seemed to like make them happy, like me like pretending to like join in. And immediately I'm like, there's something fucking in this drink. There's something in this drink. And I didn't know what to do. And I like, my manager was like across the room, but like close enough, but like not next to me, so I couldn't like whisper to her. But I wanted to tell her, I'm like, hey, don't fucking drink this. There's something wrong with this. But I couldn't. So I reach for my phone and I start to type, and Kanye takes the phone out of my hands and he's like, who are you texting? Like, you don't need to text anyone. Like, we're having a party. And I was like, okay. And he like puts it on one of the speakers, and I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. And I see my manager take a sip, and I'm like, fuck. Like, fuck. Now what do I do? And then I see her take another sip, 2 sips out of this little vodka cranberry cup. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? 2 sips, and I watch her face flush. And all of a sudden, like, I look over and she's speaking really loud and like making jokes. And I'm like, whoa, like, this isn't her. Like, she doesn't make jokes. She's fucking terrified of people. Like, she doesn't even talk. And I was like, it's already hitting her. Like, 100%, I just knew that the drinks were all laced with something. And she starts like almost being like belligerent a little bit, but not in like a crazy way, just like really enjoying herself. And I'm like, that's not her. That's not her. She doesn't even want to be here. Like, this is weird. And all of a sudden she like dismisses the studio host. Like, she's like, you can leave. And I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? And the girls file out. They go to like a different studio, or they go somewhere. And I'm like, I have to do something. I have to do something. What do I do? And I go to get my phone where Kanye put it on one of the speakers. And as I'm going to get it, I turn and my manager's walking out. And I'm like, no. Like, where are you going? I'm already seeing people being like, this is cap. What do I have to gain? Let me just ask you, what do I have to gain? I'm in a fucking farm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not in the industry anymore. I'm not filing a lawsuit, so I'm not getting paid. I'm not looking for clout, because who gives a fuck about me? So why would I lie about this? This has been 9.5 years since this happened to me. Why would I? Let me go on. Whatever. Yeah, so I see her start to leave. And I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, it's fine, I'm just going to the bathroom. And I was like, no, stay. And she's like, it's right there, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay. And she walks out. And all of a sudden, I realize that I'm in this studio. The music's low, the lights are dim, but you can still like see everything. And I realize that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye, and they're both off their shit. And there's 3 other men, an executive that works with Kanye, his engineer, and his cousin, and me, alone. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. And I haven't started freaking out yet. Like, I know what the situation is. I know, I know this is a bad place to be in, but I don't really feel scared yet, you know? Like, cause I'm like, there's other people around, there's other men around, and I know them. Like, I've known them for a while. Like, nothing bad's gonna happen. And I'm standing there and I realize that so this is like a pretty like sizable studio. There's like the glass doors, the couch there, a console, another console, the screen, all of that. But it's like, it's pretty big, but you can still see and talk to everyone easily. And I realized that I'm standing really close to the exit, and it's a glass door and it opens in, and I'm standing pretty close to it. And I realized all of a sudden that Kanye and Diddy have realized that I'm the only girl in the room. And they're like fucked out of their minds. And they start coming towards me and they're like, don't you want to take your clothes off? Like, it's so hot in here. And I'm like, no, fine. I'm fine like this. And they're like, come on, like, it's just us, like, we're all just friends, like, let us just like see like how you look. And I'm like, okay, I'm fine. And like, I still haven't gotten scared yet, you know? Like, I'm still like, this is a bad situation, I'm creeped out, but like, there's no reason to panic. There's other men here. Hold on a second. Real-time feedback. Yeah, so they're coming towards me and I'm like, okay, this is fucked. I don't know where my manager is. I don't know where anyone is. And they're coming towards me more and they're trying to like take my clothes off. And I'm like at that point where I'm like, this is not good, but I'm like still trying to like play it off. Just like, stop, you guys are fucking stupid. Like, get out of here. Like, don't touch me. Like a little bit scared. Did this just freeze? Okay, no, it's back. Okay, so let me just get to the point. So they start trying, like, they're like pawing at me. Like, they're both drunk, probably on something else. And I start to get a little bit apprehensive because I'm pretty much like backed up against the wall. Like, there's only one exit and I'm pressed up against this door. And I'm still not completely terrified yet, but I'm like, you guys stop, like, stop. And they're getting to the point where they have like ripped my shirt off. And like, I'm like almost fully exposed at this point. And they're both coming at me and I'm like, you guys, like, seriously, this isn't funny anymore. And I look to my left where his executive is. Like, we know him pretty well. Like, we've been around him a lot. He's literally 3 feet away from me. Like, if I reached and he reached too, like, we could touch. Like, he's that close. And I look and I'm like, hey, like, I give that look where I'm just like, come on, like, step in. Like, this isn't cool. Like, you're a grown man. Like, you're like 50 years old. I know you have a family. Like, you know this isn't right. Like, do something. And this is the part that for as long as I live, I will never fucking forget. It isn't actually the aspect of being sexually assaulted. That's not what haunts me. It's this. It's as these 2 grown men were pawing at me, trying to take my clothes off, I look over to this man asking for help, and I literally mouth the word help. And we lock eyes. And he looks away. I'm like, okay, there's 2 more men in the room. And I look to his engineer next, who's sitting right next to him. And I know that he's married and he just had a little baby girl. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna do something. And I look at him next and I'm like, okay, like, do something, say something, do anything. And he looks down at his phone and starts texting. And then I was like, oh, fuck. I look at Kanye's cousin next. And I'm like, do something, you know, like, fucking do something. And he spins his chair around. And that's when that, like, gut-wrenching fear set in. And I was like, oh shit. No one's fucking saving me tonight. No one's gonna do anything. No one's gonna do fucking anything. And that's when I was truly fucking scared.
Niykee did not ignore her self-voice. She immediately knew. When she realized, she knew and immediately refrained from drinking that lace drink. She did not play games with her life. I respect her. She even made the effort to warn her manager, who did drink and left the room, said that she went to the bathroom and may have had a different outcome according to Niykee. She may have a lawsuit coming. And a hard shame on the engineer and managers who looked Niykee in the eyes, saw the fear in her eyes, saw the scream for help, and just looked away. She said the act alone that could have happened, it wasn't worse than having looked into this man's eyes and begging him for help and he just looking away. No one cared. She prayed and the only one that helped her was God, who gave her an out. She took the out and left, y'all. That was her story. It's a sad one, y'all, but let me know what you think. Leave your comments, hit that thumbs up, like this video, subscribe, and stay tuned because we got more to come. Peace.